Hey guys, I just wanted to take a few minutes to explain to you the 4C's challenge for October. It's the Pumpkin Picken Challenge, so if you guys remember that one, that was a super fun one with the candy pumpkins. So setup for this one takes a little bit of time, so just wanted to kind of give you a rundown of how I would do it. The lesson plan you can follow to a T if you wanted, or you can change it as needed. But basically what you're going to do is just spend some time setting up the classroom while the kids are out at PE or something. And you want to plan this lesson around, of course, your fall activities or harvesting activities. Maybe you use this as an introduction to those things or at the end of a unit. But set up the materials in groups. So you might have 5 groups, you might have 3 groups, however you choose to do it. It's probably best for at least maybe 3, I would think would be a good number in a group. So just distribute your materials evenly in the group. You are going to have just one pumpkin patch with the candy pumpkins. May not be a bad idea to get an extra pack of these, so at the end you can give them as a treat to the kids because they're going to want to eat them, but after they played with them, they are kind of gross after that. So there's just enough for one setup. This is going to be for everyone to create a tool, and then they'll come back to this mat, and that's where they'll try their tool. There should be enough pumpkins for you to give a few pumpkins to each student as well in each group so they can try their tool. So basically, you're going to preview the lesson with the video. The YouTube video is in here. There's a tiny URL for you to access that video. It's a real-world application video of a pumpkin farm and how the pumpkins get harvested and cleaned and protected. It's a really good video to kind of start it out with. And so the challenge for this is for the students to build a tool that will harvest the pumpkins without touching their hands. So without touching their hands is the big one. That's where the creative and the design process is going to come into. You may want to set up the rules on your whiteboard, like you can't touch the pumpkins with your hand is the big one. Use only the tools provided. You could choose to give a time limit if you wanted. And then again, they will be trying their tools with the few pumpkins that you give them. But the real magic is going to happen when you come back together, and that is the heart of any STEM lesson is the end. You save the best for last. The kids are going to come back, they're going to get their tools, and each group will practice trying and demonstrating for the rest of the class how their tool works to pick up the pumpkins from the pumpkin patch. And so you'll have a little harvesting container, and they will pick up the pumpkins and place them in there. And this will kind of open up the doors to conversations like, how many pumpkins were you able to harvest at once? Why is it important to be able to pick up a whole bunch of pumpkins at once instead of one at a time and harvest them? The supply and demand conversation can kind of come in there too. But I wanted to real quick show you some of the tools that students have created in the past that made it really easy for them. This one was super simple, but one of those lower performing academic students did this. He was the quiet student and then had that really crazy leader just intrigued when he came up with this plan because the leader could not get his point across, but you had that real quiet kid over there in the background just kind of producing a great tool. So this was just a pipe cleaner, and he took and put it around the pumpkins and drug them into the tray. Obviously, you could even make it bigger for more pumpkins. So that was a really great one. They're gonna want to use spoons sometimes, and that's okay too. 2 spoons together or tied together. A more simple basic tool. You could choose to take these out to make it a little bit more challenging. Here is like a pincher tool. If a rubber band tied to the bottom will allow them to kind of pinch together, usually just one at a time. Maybe they can get more than one at a time in there. I'm not sure, but that's an option. And last was a really good tool where 2 popsicle sticks were put together, and then when you put them kind of flat, you're able to squeeze and harvest a larger amount of pumpkins and pick them up. Only 1 year did I have a student do this, but it was a really great harvesting tool. And those aha moments and the coolness of the lesson comes out when the kids are looking at each other's tools, and each group did different things. And you can just talk about what tool worked better, what could you do to make it better next time. Those are the great conversations that you have with a 4C's lesson. So I hope you guys try it. If you have any questions, please reach out, and we will definitely help you with getting started with this. And use all the material in the bag. Every STEM challenge the material is yours to keep, and return the bag empty when you're done. We'd also love to see pictures. So, all right, thanks for taking the time out to listen, guys.